the secretary session, Mr. Salamov. Session Information Theory and Technology Security.
Good afternoon, colleagues. Let's start with first presentation. Security level of critical infrastructure facilitating the simulation of cyber attack cascading effects by Irina Stopochkina, Alexey Novikov, Mikola Ilin, Alexander Rybak, Mikola Ovcharuk, Andrei Wojciechowski. Please go ahead. Who's presenting?
Can you see my video?
Yes.
Okay, let's start. I have to introduce you our research on topic security level of critical infrastructure facilities and the simulation of cyber attacks cascading effects. We know that cyber attacks that lead to cascade effects in critical infrastructure occur frequently nowadays. We know that black energy on прикорпатного энергии, on our energetic grid, on our power grid. So the object of our research is Ukrainian power grid. The general map from the side of the Ministry of Energy and you can see a graph which we built on this information. The nodes of the graph represented the critical infrastructure facilities, energy facilities, and the edges of the graph are the power supplies, the green facilities. We can see a dynamic from 2020 year till 2024 year, and unfortunately we can consider that we can notice that the number of facilities were destroyed and disconnected. And the main goal of our research were to find appropriate method of simulation and cascading recall in the power network, which were caused by cyber attacks, and to improve this method by introducing a probability of successful cyber attack and to connect this probability to cybersecurity level of energetic facility. And also we took into account the Ukrainian regulatory framework. We know that there are a lot of ways to simulate cascade shutdowns, but we know that some of them have evolved, and we consider the cellular automator and these and sphere models, and we stopped on the modern way of the algorithm, and we decided which will be the best way to simulate cascade shutdown. To launch modern way algorithm, we need to calculate some important indices. For example, load index and acceptable overload index. We calculated the indexes for each facility in our energy grid. And now you can see general steps of modern rate algorithm. We propose an improvement to introduce its probability of deletion of attached node. And then we can recalculate necessary indexes, and we can delete nodes overload can't serve anymore. And then we return to previous steps, and in the result we have a modified dashboard which has some connectivity parameters, and we have the result of the shutdown. How we use Ukrainian regulatory framework. We suppose that the probability of successful cyber attack is the function from a security state of attack facility. We use a methodological recommendation of Administration of State Special Communication Service of Ukraine. And this document has a number of classes. These are classes of requirements to cybersecurity of a facility. And also there are sub-classes and elementary requirements for the facility. Also, we suppose that all the classes have different impact on the facility, on a certain facility. So we have included some weight on these classes. And of course, we need an expert team which will give assessments for requirement completion in a certain facility. The estimating or assessing algorithm has the next principle. We first obtain a range for assessment. The scale or range for each class you could use. Here we can see an example for ER class that gives a range from 0 to 39. And then you can see a formula for weighting for each class. And for weighting we can use some methods, for example, statistic-based comparing or any other method. Then we can generalize our results in a general scale and make some universal sets and to make some universal assessments. Then we propose that we use a party set to determine which level from 5 levels of cyber protection our compare our results with random probabilities, we built a graph of connectivity parameters depending on overload factor, and we can see that for our algorithm is represented with orange line, and for random probability it has another landscape. So we can support with probability, knowledge of probability makes great influence on accuracy of our simulation. So they propose algorithm simulation of the state shutdown differs with usage of probability, which is connected to security level of our physical infrastructure, and we based on regulatory framework of Ukraine. Our results give us ability to not only simulate a shutdown, but define a strategy of prevention, because we will know which nodes are the weakest point of our energetic system. Here is the main literature sources, and thank you very much for attention, and thank you, thank the organizers for giving us possibility to present our material. Here is our research team, here is our author.
Thank you, Irina. Any comments, questions? Okay, let's move on to the next presentation by the same team. Determination of cyber attack parameters on the measurement system of critical infrastructure facility.
Hello, dear colleagues. The title of our presentation, Determination of Cyber Attack Parameters of the Measurements System of Critical Infrastructure Facility. Thank you. Why we do it? The aim of this paper is to develop and investigate the parameters and parameters of stealthy attacks on the data measurement system of the Kalman filter as a tool for testing cybersecurity system which bypassed the standard fault detection diagnostic. First of all,
One moment, please. Yeah, we have some technical issues.
Yes, sorry. First of all, I can to say why we decide this question, because in this year maybe August of this year. Our university get industrial control system laboratory with support of USAID project cybersecurity critical infrastructure of Ukraine. And this laboratory have physical models, some processes of real industrial, and software, professional software of system automatization, automatic control of real industrial objects. We have simulator, hybrid simulator, physical model and software model, ICS system, which include in higher level SCADA system, middle level distributed control system, and low level local automatization. This is a overall logic controller, and my colleague, our team, as example, develop in this months develop system of attacks on all levels of this system automatization, cyber attacks. Previously, this cyber attacks based on technology, hackers' technologies. We have many young boys and girls which do it. But second step, this is a work with another level system attack, which use mathematical methods, science, and so on. And I present you one of this direction of modeling of cyber attacks, which stealth attack, which may possibility to bypasses standard fault detection diagnostic. And based on a mathematical method. First of all, we work with attack, kind of attack in measuring system of cyber physical system. Attacker work with may possibility to false measurement which used by estimator, for example, well-known filter Kalman. We use as a mathematical model, we use state model, well-known linear filter of Kalman in this form, and in this filter our hacker may possibility to attack this measure in this kind of filter. And here not possibility to attack a false detector. In this slide I demonstrate mathematical model of standard fault diagnostic detector function. This is a simple analog intrusion detection system, but very simple. This equation with measurement attacks management as additional part of management of management system. Our mathematical problem we saw as a mathematical problem of optimization. We use method of optimal control with variational method, language method, iteration method, and as a result we obtained algorithm to search this false management, false measuring. We do computer experiment result. Yes, we do experiment, number experiment, and have result which not so bad, maybe good results with good criteria and convergence result of files data. As a result, a cyber attack from the class of stealth attack on measurement, data management of the linear Kalman filter, which bypasses the standard fault diagnostic detector, is considered. A method and corresponding algorithm for searching for determination of cyber attack parameters on the measurement system of critical infrastructure facility were obtained and analyzed. The analysis of the computational experiment results confirmed the efficiently and development method and algorithm. And now we have a plan to implementation this result, numerical result in our laboratory, with really numerical data. Thank you.
Thank you for presentation. Any questions, comments? Okay, let's move on to the next presentation. Fundamentals of Information Interface as a process of managing complex hierarchical systems by Sergey Ignatyuk and Sergey Kulintsev.
Пане Сергію, ви нас чуєте?
Place. Who is presenting? Was it offline?
Онлайн.
Online.
Next time.
No. Сховище, де будуть
Okay, let's move to the next presentation. Looks like these presenters are applying so far. Vulnerability of multi-layer network system. Sorry? Vulnerability of multi-layer network system to system-wide lesions by Alexander Polishchuk. Okay. This is poster presentation, so we're moving on to the next. Cryptanalysis of a line crypto system by Gennady Halimov, Evgen Kotov, Svetlana Halimova, Maxim Kolisnik, Alexander Severinov, and Sofia Kirillova. Please go ahead.
Do you hear me well?
Yep.
Thank you. So let me share my screen first. Do you see my screen now?
Yeah.
I hope so, yeah.
Yeah, we're seeing it.
Okay, thank you very much for such a beautiful conference being organized and participation of our team. So our paper is a cryptanalysis of line crypto system. Recently we developed the line crypto system, which is based on linear gradation using the logarithmic signature. And now we're just moving forward with our team to prepare for the NIST submission, and actually we are doing the extensive cryptanalysis. This is just the first attempt that we would like to present. So the problem is, I believe in quantum here is quite obvious that we have significant vulnerabilities as activities, and the quantum computer excellence may just drop all the cryptography that we are using on asymmetric code, let's say, just do nothing, to provide a lot of vulnerabilities and make it just a problem. The biggest challenge that we see for now is vulnerability, particularly relevant to the modern 5G, 6G network technologies and the future of such technologies, and for obvious reason is just depends on the future cryptographic primitives that we would that the world may address the all existence issues with quantum computing. So this study examines our directional encryption scheme based on line crypto system, and we just made just brief representation of line crypto system, and then we go to some current problems of cryptanalysis that we have attempted to address our people. So foundational architecture of line crypto system is actually based on the well-established algebraic principle, which is persists that the unique solution, unique equation of attainable exclusively for the fully determined system of linear equation. So functionally, the action of the linear equation is actually presented on your screen, but the construction of our line crypto system includes these 4 stages just to use such a principle. The first one is initialization, when we initialize the general parameters of the system, such as some arrays that we are going to use, we actually constructing the logarithmic signature, some arrays, some secret and public keys. Then we just make the encryption and decryption based on the crypto system that we have developed. So the parameters we discussed in our paper, we are just like very obvious case is less, let's say, secure is the size of work medium. So, and we have some values being addressed in some very obvious case we discussed in the paper. However, the system can operate with much bigger stationary data, and which can operate also with some initialization bases, which are much more secure and can be designed to fit the least security parameters like 256 and even higher security. So discussed how we actually operate this logarithmic signature as a basic matrix transformation, how we implement some homomorphic transformations for this logarithmic signature to improve, to actually to hide the all possible legs that is actually known for the logarithmic signature. So this is the calculated logarithmic signature after the homomorphic transformation, and all is done in our paper. Then we use some methods to generate the public and secret keys and some general parameters for the initialization fields. Then we move forward to construct the complete system of linear equation with all these parameters that we generate the initialization phase, and then move for the encryption algorithm, which is presented here. Is all encrypted data which is fit the initialization data set we use for the very primitive scenario. So also decryption is presented in our paper. It's all this preliminary work just to be done to discuss the main things, main objective of our paper is actually the analysis of life. And here we consider two cases. First case is the attack of the secret matrix. We consider the public keys and the transformation that is actually fit the secret parameters of the secret matrix. And within the all attempts trying to find the proper set of parameters that to evaluate the security of the matrix, we come to the fact that we can verify that it's strong enough not to implement any brute force attack of the matrix. As well as the second thing that we discuss is actually the quantum secrecy here, that the possible approaches to design the possible attacks based on short program is also so not fitting the good results, at least for now. We make the comprehensive quantum cryptanalysis that we are going to move forward and present in our further work. However, preliminary analysis also shows us the fact that there is a error-free factorization can be used here, so it cannot be used here for find the key or ciphertext. So it's actually it means that for the quantum cryptanalysis, most probably we will be also quite good from the security reason, and the whole quantum cryptanalysis attempts can also find the non-successful results for the our line crypto system. So as a conclusion, we made the line crypto system implemented some direction encryption protocol. We also have some paper that we have discussed how to implement our system for IEEE authentication for 5G, and also we compare the post-quantum mechanism of direction encryption, which is presented in already posted by NIST quantum-ready primitives such as the crystal hybrid, byte, classics, Machetes, and some other primitives which don't fit these conditions, but they pretend to have security up to 256. So here we limit ourselves to 128 with secrecy, but as I mentioned, it can be parameters for our system can be set to the 256 secrecy. But both line crypto system and 428 with secrecy can be implemented in just 8-bit words with the initialization parameters, and most of the public keys will be like 60 bytes for the one logarithmic signature, which is actually 32 of number of arrays to be presented. So which means that ciphertext length, so we can just defeat some very strict requirements even from this standpoint. So thank you very much for your attention, and I will be happy if you need any questions can appear. Our team is also Nani Kalimov is present on the presentation, Svetlana Kalimova, Alexander Sergeyeva, Sofia Kureeva. We are all well here for the presentation and appreciate the possibility to present our views. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. Any questions, comments?
One question. Where is this crypto system used today?
Sorry, send it again. It's very noisy voice.
Where is this crypto system used today?
No. It's implemented somewhere this system.
Yeah, we just implemented it. There is a practical algorithm which we presented for the 5G authentication, which can be implemented. Also, we have the Python code for simulation for all the different types of initialization parameters, and now the length of keys and all other security needs. So we are, it's a public things. We can provide the links that you can also use it for any process.
Thank you. Okay. Let's move on to the next presentation.
Thank you.
Detecting the operation of keylogger using the dendritic cell algorithm with multiple resolutions by Hennady Shebayev and Leonid Golchinsky. You can speak louder.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see and hear you. Please move on.
You can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you and we can see.
Oh, okay, that's nice. Hi, colleagues. Today I'm going to present our launch and check the operation of your using the dendritic cell algorithm. This month was the let's start on the Chitana. Okay, we'll get the title about brand or the very fine. The record point of view from my side user on the people. That label is also fine. Volume can capture and send information such as the volume credentials, credit card number, all application messages, and so on. Cyber criminal program is tested by C, incorporate data, and the volume can be divided into two cases as K4 popular, K4 volume program. Like the volume we can divide into two categories also in the multi-kilometers and user kilometers. Kilometers are much more difficult to develop than user kilometers. To write such kilometer requires deep knowledge of the hardware and the kilometers offer several advantages. The mass complete example and the price level of the rate. Make it example so let's proceed this kilometer. This visual mouse program interfaces. It's a 1 kilometer are but they are also the easiest to detect because the functions that they use to intercept the data are a lot more common. Part of our presentation, the digital algorithm. The main here is the implementation of malicious software in the computer is second method is the interpretation of the human body by viruses or by bacteria. Its primary is the classification, classification of identifier. The other means normal normality pattern. So the pixel pattern is very except detection. This
cutting microphone.
Also, algorithm different from other algorithms in the following features that we can see in the script. The heart of the theory paradigm is the interplay between the signals and constants. The signals indicate that a cell or a tissue acting normally of matter. The lattice itself receives the signals that can be divided into three parts. This into three parts, such as convergent molecular matter, signal, and data signal. Where W is weight, is 1, or as I mentioned, is not against matter. EW is secure partner, secure distance for interaction. VI equals this is multi-solution. But is the technique of describing signal in terms of forward resolution, approximation, and detail. The largest number of multi-solution levels of the nickel curve. In relevant analysis is that G is block and displays 2, where n is unit time of the signal. Unit time signal is specified as a recursive relation for each level of this regulation. Is level G, including all of the information details. Escape property. So, technology signals, the escape value transform. So you can see the equation where n is translation of the signal, v is the position level, and the level and the data pattern. As a level of the graph, orthogonal. So in the position model, can be stated definition of the discrete value transform, associate that of the discrete transform can create the effect of signal field because of total support of couple polarity field. The max overlap where the transform price computation of this field and logarithm and ratio is the high computation of the cost. So So let's move on to the example of work with incremented result. As a fact that we create the data from the network. All this items you can call dangerous, also dangerous identification that normally anomaly is that signal or something. Here setting up the signal that the steady state of we can think that this end is correct. So after collecting and after that collecting the number of requests by our finds and the target of this work is following kilometers under 500 kilometers. Now particles by category like import detection, file classification, and communication. Also for one resolution we create approximation detailing graph for category keyboard direction, file access, and message communication. Using this, we can use the concept of forces and negative classes to compare the change that can be detected when we invited this model resolution. Then mention the entity itself. Comparison table is on the screen. See that accuracy entity itself is model resolution. Algorithm is as a conclusion, experimental results of the architecture is about technically the detection of keywords. The proposed model is approach for the signal providing to the system. And for the user machine, the research, the technical level is technical also resolution requirement of parameters of them. So maybe we can take more signal, more categories. So that's all from my side. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Any questions, comments? Okay, let's move to the next presentation. So we are moving back presentation number 21 because the guys asked it for to present right now because they expect blackout, so we are giving them the space. Methods of improving the Windows PowerShell administration system from potential cyber threats by Andrei Ivanusa, Artur Tkachenko, and Rostislav Tkachuk. Please go ahead. Yep. Yeah, we can hear you. Yes, yes. We can see you and we can hear you.
My presentation?
Yep.
Programs are of improving the Windows PowerShell administration systems. Improving the Windows PowerShell administration system from potential cyber threats. Position. The cyber attack have functionality become commonplace reality in your digital world today. Interestingly, a product known as Windows PowerShell is being utilized for cyber tasks. Windows PowerShell is a powerful tool in the handle system administration. It's for system administration, yet it has capabilities that are exactly experiential extraction. This tool can perform IEEE functions and be played for awareness of persons, including non-recent tests by malicious actors or technical hackers. Circumvention of restrictions and ability to be exploited by malware or part of it. Microsoft works or new features for Windows and strives to enhance the security of products. However, the new version Windows PowerShell available by default on Windows is significantly limited in functionality, yet it still has security issues. Its primary concern lies in the user use features that lead security vulnerabilities, while this feature is not exactly security risks. They can become problematic in the hands of skilled attackers. Analysis of scientific research in the field also point to specific security issues within PowerShell, but do not address to dual use features that, while not inherently malicious, you can serve count formal layer right established security policies. Critical research methods, experiment, observation, and testing were employed. For the experimental research or configuration application of Windows PowerShell open source, virtualization software VirtualBox and Windows operating system were utilized. Experiments and results. To explore the issue of dual use features is necessary city comments the restrictions imposed by Windows developers on existing PowerShell scripts.
Excuse me, you're still on title slide. If you can, you are still on the same slide title. Slides are not changing.
Needed by default. This is where adding several values to the registry. This can be done using Windows features such as ring or regalities. In the registry branch, the collapse of directories Microsoft Windows PowerShell. To execute this, the script must be run with administration privileges. This can be achieved in following ways. The scripts can check whether being run by administration if not.
Moment, please. Wait, please. We can only see the first window, the screen. First screen only.
Are you changing slides or not? Because we see only title slide on the screen.
Repeat, please.
See my screen?
Yeah, we see. Yeah. Now we see the last one. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Now they're changing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Exploit block privilege escalation, LPM, vulnerabilities to bypass user account control. Yeah. Using known vulnerabilities like CIs or 0 days, popular software, or in Windows itself, to relate privileges and secret yeah. This is example of dual use features. I wrote virus downloader in one line. See how easy it is. And dirty malware stuff can find virus. That's easy. Okay. If you have many examples, you can read my article. Windows PowerShell can serve both useful and useful tool instead of system administrator, and means for bridging vulnerability to the system in the hands of an attacker. An attacker will use various methods and any possible means of infiltrating the system, particularly through information
Thank you for your presentation. Any questions, comments? Okay, thank you. Let's move to the next presentation, number 8, complexity of attacks on the modes of digital signature schemes, Vershina and Sokol by Yulia Litvinenko and Andrei Kisenko. Yes, we can hear you, we can see you.
Okay. Hello everyone once more. Today I will talk about complexity of attacks on modes of digital signature schemes Vershina and Sokol. The Vershina and Sokol digital signature schemes are part of draft national standards on analyzing their security is very important for research. As a prototype for digital signature schemes Vershina and Sokol were used winners of the this competition is partly driven by the onset of the era of practical and scalable quantum computers, which has motivated the community to develop schemes that are immune to the generating efforts using quantum algorithms. Let's mention the features of those schemes that are crucial and not to security estimation. First of all, the Vershina and Sokol are both logic-based schemes, however, they have different structures. For the Vershina signature scheme, the CI channel is enforced, and for the Sokol was used the hash and sign diagram. It also should be noted that for Sokol signature scheme, used a special type of logic and IEEE access. The security of the Vershina digital signature scheme is based on the complexity of solving the modular errors and modular short integer solution problems. Whereas the security of the digital signature scheme is based on the complexity of solving this problem over entirely biases. And the last but not the least feature is distribution. The authors of the Vershina scheme prefer to use uniform distribution, for Sokol scheme was used velocity. Now let's consider the complexity of all universities problem, which ensures the security of the Sokol scheme. The techniques generally used to solve this problem rely on lattice reduction, the procedure of generating a definition with a proportional basis given the distribution of the rates. In this work, we used the experimentally based proportional algorithm, more possible reduction. First, we need to choose the both sides necessary to successfully recover the shortest vector when trying to use the formally used to obtain the value after the function right. After that, we can use the algorithm and estimate the complexity of the problem using formulas as we can see on the left. Using corporate formulas, we obtain results in shown table. The first two sets of parameters for the Sokol and for both are the same. So these will be used to verify our calculations. However, the same set of parameters was proposed only in Sokol scheme, and we can see that provides same level of stability as it was declared by workers. Next part of our work is focused on the analysis of the security of the Vershina scheme. Those are side channel attacks. First type of side channel attacks that will consider our work is battalion attacks, specifically template attacks. The data selects the target variable and using a portal of target device records a large number of algorithms. This analyzes the feature zones and gives some knowledge about target variable. Then by performing certain mathematical transformations that are again available. In our work we will focus on the profiling attack with two linear target vectors. Vector of lower bias follows the parametry property with zero and masking vector y as targets for this attack. The attacker must focus on distinguishing signatures with the but for the industry laws, the number of licenses in this domain. Another type of patent on which we will consider is prototype. The main idea is to introduce the approach in device operations, so that some of the products in the best vector as a set. This makes it possible to simplify the model of Kubernetes error program, with the complexity of which the individual program is based, to the real Kubernetes error program of small. The lemma that can be used to success of that attack is now shown on the screen, and automated formula from this kernel. The corresponding results will appear. Table shows that the complexity of solving this problem decreases rapidly after ample time. Also, to move the operation after introducing for the problem decreases to the level that practically solved the object. It also interesting that for slot mode, the required number of errors was the smallest. This is due to the fact that for this mode of the machine algorithms, probability of getting the signature of the current iteration is high. So, thank you for your attention.
Thank you for your presentation. Any questions, comments? Thank you. Let's move to the next presentation, number 9. Analysis for different digital fingerprint methods to further identify malicious groups by Oleg Kozlenko, Yulia Nakonechna, and Mikhailo Mokonko. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, Oleg. Please begin.
Yep, I can hear, I can see.
My name is Manisha Sierka. I will be presenting our research analysis let's start with the starting point. Or created with foreign intelligence services. These groups each possess a tactics, techniques, and procedures to be enabling their activities. However, there is a significant tools and also the tactics, techniques, and procedures are shared across various groups organized in fingerprint. Over time, research on criminal behavior has been analyzed and compiled by company into a knowledge base. Currently, this repository comprises tactics, 188 techniques, and 378 sub-techniques available for employment by simultaneous or substituted research. Furthermore, the database encompasses information on 129 criminal groups with at least completed HAMA of different corporations, government, regions, or private organizations. Organizations utilize various methods to implement the devices, such as browser or anything else for commercial identification purposes. Luckily, there exists no analogous tool or application for type which is hacker groups rendering the in our
Щось відсутнє виступ. Чисто там є і графіка, і форма, і математика. Ну, тут якісь інструкції.
Вот этому хлопцу защиты стали. Это же его защита.
Без математики щось я тільки побачив, сказав, що це
Было классно. Да, и второй писали.
ну тут я не знаю, ні, що малював.
Нема. И почему вас написали?
Просто на собі помітку.
Щоб без репу захист не написати.
Ось такі ні. То не просто.
Дуже сподобалось.
basically not enough information when the network is busy, so
Alec, you have 1 minute just left.
For conclusion.
information about
like, sorry to say, but your time is over. Please go to conclusions.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Oleg. Any questions, comments? Okay, let's move to the next one. Number 10. Reduction of SVP funding the Hamiltonian's ground state and QAOA circuit complexity analysis by Matvey Kistayev and Andrei Fisenko. Please go ahead. Yeah, we can hear you, can see you. Let's move on. Please speak louder, we can hardly hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, so regarding
через монітор, але комп'ютер він його навіть не розпізнає.
So we'll be proposing a new way to build this reduction by constructing the Hamiltonian in the right way, ignoring that loss of non-zero constraint. And only then we modify the Hamiltonian by adding the same penalty alpha, but now we are the projector operator that you can see on the equation. This requires no extra variables, hence no extra qubits, but instead it requires implementing a quantum circuit for this projector term. In the paper we describe in detail how one can construct it and the complexity analysis of the following circuit. Here are two schematics to review both reduction, the known one, which adds a penalty back in the QBA and adds new variables, hence more qubits, and the proposed scheme of reduction that adds a penalty via the projector and does not require any extra qubits. Here we have a table comparing the circuit complexity for both reduction methods. We have explicit formulas for them in the paper, and the problem is that these expressions have non-trivial dependencies on the dimension of the lattice, on the property of the basis, and it's not easy to see which one is better, so we do a comparison on the practical instances of shortest vector problem taken from the svpchallenge.org, which lists a list of practically hard, computationally hard instances of SVP. And yeah, here you can see the plots for number of qubits required and number of single and 2 qubit gates. And the orange one corresponds to the proposed new reduction, and you can definitely see that it has a practical improvement. Yeah, so in conclusion, we conduct a circuit complexity analysis, QAA circuit complexity analysis for a known reduction. We propose a new reduction, conduct the same complexity analysis, and by testing those obtained circuit complexity bounds on the practical instances, we have two results. First one is we obtain practical scale requirements for real-world quantum computers to be able to tackle practical problems. Well, and also we observe that the new proposed reduction has a better performance, even though it's not asymptotically better, but still a practical advantage. So thank you for your attention. Any questions?
Any questions, comments? Any questions, comments? Okay, yeah, let's move to the next presentation.
Thank you.
Next report, Dmitry Vande and Anatoly Feher. Good afternoon, estimated conference partnerships. Dmitry Vande, I representative of Igor Sikorsky Kyiv Polytechnic Institute. Together with my PhD student Anatoly Feher, I am presenting a report on the topic time series forecasting based on the transformer model. The presented approach to time series forecasting was developed by integrating transformer model with time series forecasting methods. Це пропозит адаптиву концептуальний ватність average technique based on tokenization with contextual wise, despite improved the accuracy of time series prediction. Also, now my PhD student Anatoly, please begin.
So, thank you for hosting this conference and event. Today we want to present you the transformer attention modeling for time series forecasting. And start here we want with the very famous quote from Alan Kay. The best way to predict the future is to invent it. Where future prediction and forecasting modeling in overall science is very well known, and here there are always new inventions in this field, and here we have some additions to that inventions. Here we start with argumentative base, where we want to describe various forecasting methods have defined what's the reason and what's the purpose of it. The creation of technical systems that can qualifiably predict events in the context of information obtained from open sources or different kind of sources with unlimited topics can give very big impetus to solving the problems in many industries. That can be cybersecurity, military, politician, economic, and very broad domains without the exception. So how the study will go? Basically, the main objectives were defined: the research and analysis.
Мне кажется, там, короче, собрали.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically the research and analysis step is mostly basic, the foundation step, where we research and generate the analysis of modern generative AI and machine learning perspectives and technological advantages that it gives. Next step, the synthesis, where the exploring techniques that currently are involved in all that industries. And the chronotensor is our adjustment, our study to this forecasting methods field. So basically, out of that, the basis for our study is the transformer model, the primitive that uses generative AI to perform all those analytics that we have behind the curtains. So basically, it's the foundation neural network architecture in deep learning, particularly for natural language processing tests. And basically, all those generative AI models that we have currently in use today are all on the behalf of the transformer models. So next step is the AQUA, the research for the AQUA, adaptive contextual weighted average, where it's a computational process and approach in machine learning and natural language processing that dynamically assigns weights to features or inputs based on the contextual relevance. And From here, our main idea is to combine uncombined approaches. The transformer model with an attention with the aqua. So basically, we have redeveloped the basic transformer architecture and implemented average assigned weights to it. Basically, just incorporated that into the multi-head self-attention step, where this overall processing for the transformer is generally just the same, where we have the combined input sequence that could be the text information, numerical information, and kind of information that is separate to the positional encoding of them and token embedding. And basically, after that, the usual steps involves in the original transformer architecture is multi-head self-attention. But with our incorporation, we have tried it in forecasting methods, into time series forecasting methods. And we achieved great results. The time series that we have tested, that we have been fine-tuned our transformer architecture with self-attention with an aqua, have been chosen for the study from the open source intelligence methodologies, have defined several databases, and in the current presentation we are presenting you the Starlink systems request in the internet by a daily basis. So granularly that is the statistical numerical data for each day with the amount of all year for requests for the Starlink in the internet. And basically the comparison of our chrono tensor developed is where with LSTM and ARIMA, very well known methods for forecasting that are widely used in statistical forecasting and computational network methods for general forecasting. And basically our methodology involved with time series that have 364 days for the real series, that is the whole year, and we have cut the last month, the 31 days, that we were trying to predict with various models, various approaches. And the result that we are gathered, and according to all the data that we have approached, we have initially tested within the primitives. The primitives like sinus, tangents, and various causal functions. And here is the visual representation of our prediction results gathered with our self-attention transformer with custom and added weights with aqua approach. That is basically what our transformer from a tensor is capable for the primitives. And this is the real data. For the Starlink dataset that we have described earlier, so here we can see the LSTM, ARIMA, and chronotensor, where we can see slight differences between them, but in comparison we can see the real statistical data behind it. And we can see really high improvement among other well-known research methods, forecasting methods. And this 87 for RSLE error is helping achieve without any kind of adjusting of layers, adjusting
hyperparameters for the transformer, and including some other slightening methods like learning rate and dropout rate. And basically those results that we have gathered really brings us to the new step of forecasting methods. And here we have the conclusions, where we want to state that we will continue our researches with slight modifications on that, including not only the original architecture that we have been described here, but also some multi-layers, multi-functionals, and multi-attention approaches additionally. So this described method is a really effective approach for the time series forecasting. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you for your presentation. Any questions, comments? I have a question. In what particular areas this approach can be, this method can be used in?
So yeah, basically the data set that we have been tested on, the 4 data sets, and the styling that represented in the presentation, all those are gathered from open source intelligence methods. And basically that's the open source intelligence, our main domain with Dmitry Landa, and basically that's the part of the cybersecurity. But as well, all those described chronotensor approaches could be replicated to the economical domains, could be also replicated to all kinds of the domains where we can see time series data sets.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments? Thank you. Let's move to the next presentation. Security methods in .NET technology by Sergey Buchik and Sergey Lupa. Please, yeah, go ahead.
Good afternoon. I sent a request to share my screen.
Yeah, we can see your screen and we can hear you.
We cannot see your screen.
Ah, right.
No, one moment.
It's coming, yeah.
It will be. Yeah.
Please switch. Okay, yeah.
Okay. Good afternoon, dear conference participants. It's a pleasure for me to present you a report on the topic security methods in .NET technology. The article and report were prepared by Sergey Buchik, Sergey Tulupa, Alina Kleshchenko, Alexander Buchik, Anastasia Shabanova, and the report will be delivered by Alexander Buchik. The second page of this report presents the content and main list of references used to write this work. This article is devoted to the analysis of security methods in .NET technology, which are key to ensuring the reliability and security of software. The article discusses in detail such security methods as authentication and authorization, encryption, access control, protection against XSS attacks, and protection against CSRF attacks. This work analyzes the advantages and disadvantages of each method, apprehending their importance in formatting a comprehensive security system for .NET applications. This work is useful for developers and administrators seeking to improve the security of their .NET application. The results of the study confirm that the implementation and use of various security methods is necessary to ensure the highest level of data and resource protection on the .NET platforms. The topic of this work, namely security methods in .NET technology, is relevant. .NET is an open source software development platform created by Microsoft Corporation. It allows you to create a variety of applications for different operation systems and devices, as well as mobile devices, personal computers, and cloud services. This .NET technology includes programming languages, runtime environment, and the library classes that help developers ensure the functionality of their application. This slide also shows security methods in .NET technology, including authorization and authentication, data encryption, access control, protection against SQL injections, XSS and CSRF attacks. On the next slide, you can see a comparison of authentication and authorization methods in .NET technology. In .NET, various methods are used for authorization and authentication based on a combination of middleware, attributes, and configuration parameters. Methods of protections are Windows authentication, Forms authentication, and OAuth 2.0 authentication. On this page, you can see the interface for logging into the web application using forms and code program for logging in, and the database where the authorization data is checked. The application also used the OAuth 2.0 authorization method. This is an authorization protocol that allows third-party programs to access web resources on behalf of the users without revelation of their personal credentials. On the next slide, you can see a comparison of encryption methods and .NET technology. Encryption is important for web application security by protecting sensitive data. Methods of protections are symmetric encryption, asymmetric encryption, and hashing. The application implements hashing. When a user registers in the program, he or she provides use data and a password. The program creates a password hash and stores it in the database along with the user's data. When the user logs in, the program looks up the ID in the database and retrieves the password hash. The program hashes the sent password and compares the two hashes. On the next slide, you can see a comparison of access control methods in .NET technology. Access control is the key component of any web application security, ensuring that only authorized users have access to functions and data. There are various access control mechanisms in .NET that give developers the flexibility to configure security. Methods of protections are role-based access control and security WebSocket protocol. On the next slide, you can see a comparison of SQL injections, protection methods in .NET technology. Execution of parameterized queries from which you can use the entity firework library in an application that uses parameterized queries internally. It is also a code program that provides the ability to retrieve user data from the database by their ID. The purpose of parameters queries is to provide parameters, then context value to these parameters, and then execute the query. Queries executed in this way will not be susceptible to injection attacks, as the query and parameters will be sent for execution separately. SQL injections is a serious vulnerability in web security systems that allows attacks to manipulate queries executed by an application against a database. Methods of protections are parameterized queries and verification of input data. On this slide, you can see a comparison of methods of protection against XSS attacks in .NET technology. On this slide, you can see the settings of HTTP-only cookies, which help in preventing specific threats known as section token exfiltration. This situation occurs that an attacker gains access to a user's section token through an XSS attack. XSS cross-site scripting attacks pose a serious threat to the security of web applications, allowing attackers to inject malicious JavaScript code into pages viewed by users. Methods of protection are HTTP-only cookies that described in our presentation and content security policy, CSP. The main purpose of anti-CSRF tokens is to ensure that all requests coming from the user's browser are not forged by attackers. CSRF, cross-site request forgery attacks pose a serious threat to the security of web application, allowing attackers to force users to perform unwanted actions on a website to which they are authorized. Methods of our protection are anti-CSRF token and same-site cookies. And conclusions. The result of the work done is a detailed study of .NET technology, including its definition, history, main components, uses, and advantages or disadvantages. Analyzes and describes security methods such as authentication and authorization, encryption, access control, protection against SQL injections, protection against XSS attacks, and protection against CSRF attacks. In the course of the work, the following results were obtained. The existed methods of protection applications in .NET technology are analyzed. Their key advantages are limitation of the context of different types of threats identified. A comprehensive security system has been developed for a web application that combines authentication, encryption, and access control methods. This system takes into account the specificities of the .NET application's architecture. The developed security system was tested on the example of a web application which confirmed its effectiveness in countering among attacks. A threat model for .NET applications has been created to identify potential vulnerabilities and prepare protection. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you for your presentation. Any questions, comments? Thank you. That's
15 seconds, please.
Post-quantum.
Wait, 15 seconds. I need.
Session and next post-quantum leader writer code theoretic scheme by Roman Korolov, Stanislav Milevsky, Sergey Dunayev, Vadim Tasenko, Olga Korol, and Natalia Worldwide. Please.
Yep. Can you see my screen, right?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, great. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending my presentation. Today, I will introduce a critical topic in the field of cybersecurity. It's post-quantum authentication and authorization, specifically focusing on the mediator theoretic stack. As we move closer to the era of quantum computing that leads to traditional cryptographic methods, such as RSA and DCC, are becoming more significant. Quantum computers can break these methods using algorithms like Shor's algorithm, which makes factorization and describes algorithms computationally trivial. This poses a serious challenge to the security of systems that rely on certificates and digital signatures for authentication. To address these challenges, post-quantum cryptography offers promising solutions. Among these, the mediator scheme is robust.
So we have some black box on top of your presentation.
Sorry, maybe I can share my screen.
Oh, yeah. Now it's better, yeah.
Let me try to do it one more time. Screen 1, screen 2.
No, still.
Is it better?
No, still black box on the top. Oh, now it's, yeah, okay. Oh, yeah,
Okay.
much better.
Great. And let's continue. To address these challenges, post-quantum cryptography offers promising solutions, as I told before. And let's dive deeper into why this scheme is essential and how it works. And I want to start from discussing the problem that quantum computers pose a significant risk to traditional cryptographic systems, RSA and ESS, which are widely used today, relying on the difficulty of certain mathematical problems. And quantum algorithms, however, solve these problems exponentially faster than classical methods. This puts sensitive data and infrastructure at risk, including systems for authentication and authorization. The need for post-quantum cryptographic solutions is very, very urgent. These methods are designed to withstand attacks from quantum computers. Among the various approaches, such as lattice-based and hash-based cryptography, code-based systems stand out for their efficiency and security. And this interlighter scheme in particular offers a solution when proven resistance to quantum attacks. You can see the scheme on this slide, and our challenge, the response authentication scheme, shown here highlights how we can ensure the communication in post-quantum context. This process prevents unauthorized access and ensures data integrity, even in environments where quantum threats are prevalent. And I want to overview the interlighter scheme in few words. And the interlighter scheme is code-theoretic crypto system that uses error-correcting codes and encryption. It works by encoding data into code words and discussing them with matrices to make the system resistant to quantum attacks. Here's how it operates. The public key consists of a party check matrix, while private keys are masking matrices that transform the code into the form that is computationally hard to decode, without knowledge of the private keys. The core computational task, decoding the code word, remains difficult even for quantum computers. If we read to figure 3, this figure illustrates how sequences are formed for encryption. The process involves several steps, including generating an information sequence, adding controlling errors, and masking the data to prevent compromise during transmission. The advantages of this scheme are notable. It's resistant to quantum attacks, operate efficiently in terms of encryption and decryption, and provide robust protection in authentication processes. Let's go back and discuss about application example in wireless communication. To understand its real-world application, let's consider an example of challenge response authentication used in wireless communication. Imagine a scenario where a car key fob communicates with the onboard computer for secure access. The interlighter scheme can be integrated into the process as follows. The first step is onboard computer generates a challenge and sends it to the key fob. Second step is the key fob computer's response using a secret key encoded with controlled errors. The third and last step, the onboard computer verifies and responds by comparing it to its expected calculation. The process ensures that only authorized users can access the system and it remains secure even if intercepted by an attacker with quantum capabilities. By incorporating this method, system achieve a new level of post-quantum security, protecting against both current and future threats. And if we talk about confusion, the interlighter scheme represents a powerful approach to securing authentication and authorization in the quantum era. It's resistant to quantum attacks, combined with the operational efficiency makes it crucial for organizations aimed to future-proof their cybersecurity systems. As quantum computers become more capable, adopting post-quantum methods like the interlighter scheme will no longer be optional but essential. Thank you for attention, and I'm happy to answer your questions.
Thank you. Any questions, comments on the presentation? Okay, thank you. Let's move to the next one. Yeah, thanks. Next presentation is a model for the digital inheritance process by Yulia Tkach, Mikhailo Shelest, Ivan Lukinov, and Andrei Yurchenko. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, dear colleagues. Do you hear me?
Yes, yeah, we can hear you, we can see.
Yeah, so thank you for your welcome us here. We would like to present you our model, our vision of how we can work with the digital inheritance and digital assets. So as we all are working and living in modern world, in this modern world, we can see that amount of assets that are valuable for us, but still are not covered by some legal procedures or another topics that we can inherit or we can give to anybody who will decide is growing. So these assets would include like accounts on social networks, for example. They can be value for us, and we would like to give somebody control over it after we will die. Also, it could be financial assets, such assets like cryptocurrency, or they are like completely out of any legal processes, out of legal coverage, and if something will happen, we will just lose them, and nobody will know. And also, online banking, online shops. Sometimes we can see that shops created their own virtual assets, virtual currency that is not covered by, like, again, our standard legal processes, but it's still money. It's still something that we can inherit and that then we can leave to our children. Sometimes it could be also blocks, some parts of intellectual property that also is not covered by laws. And some personal data, for example, like Dropbox accounts, where we can store some like photos, a lot of assets that we would like to leave. And these all steps are not covered right now in many countries by some legal procedures. So we are trying to formalize these processes. We are trying to create a model, and we are trying to create steps how we can implement these possibilities to inherit all your virtual assets. So basically, like life cycle, our life cycle consists of like birth, gathering some assets, creating family, then something can happen, and we would like to leave these assets to our family or our children. Not only children, of course, but still. These steps are okay for legal assets like houses, cars, anything else, bank accounts, legal bank accounts, but are not covered for virtual assets that are not official in many countries. So, and we propose to adopt this model in 6 main steps. So, first step, it's a preparation. So we can identify these assets that we would like to inherit to work with. Again, accounts, bank accounts, cryptocurrencies, any other. So create inventory of such assets that we can leave. Then legal formalizations. So creating some kind of digital will, so that we will create a mechanism that will allow somebody after some circumstances get access to these our digital assets. It includes creating a contracts, maybe some legal steps that could be done, technical implementation. It's a platform and technical step that is necessary to gather all these elements together. So forming digital assets, creating digital will, and storing all this data and processing this data. Fifth element, it's like transfer of this inheritance. So it's a step where something is going wrong with us, and we need to make some actions, or system need to make some actions to transfer our digital assets. And of course, like step of support when we need to answer questions, help users to work with it, to fulfill forms, to make some contracts, legal issues, and all these things. So for implementing this model, we already started to do it. So it's proof of concept that we are working on. As a part of this model, we have already created a device called Safer. This device is designed to be a cold wallet, so to store as a backup all our digital